everyone, it's Rambling Hour with Lisa, season 15, episode 12. So actually the last episode of this season. Coming to you from the dining room. Just thought I'd have a different shot for today. I'm zoomed out a little bit right now because I want to show you, and the lighting might not be, it looks alright, but I'm just using an old broken light. Because I'm going to try some microphones, but I wanted to show you the microphones first, and we're going to see which ones work better. And also, the one of them comes with a light, so I want to see how well that light works. So, also the fact that I wanted to sit here at, like, the stuff is on the dining room table, so I didn't need my big ring light that stands on the floor if I was just sitting at the table. I don't think you can see the table, but it is here. So how is everyone? What are you doing? What's new with you? So right now I'm talking to my phone at about 2 feet in front of me. No microphone except my phone's actual microphone. The first one I'm going to try is these. I have 2 of these. They clip on. So this is what Steve bought me if I was having a guest. So it clips onto your clothes like you see on TV and stuff like that. So I don't know if I want to clip it there or on my neckline. So we're going to try this. They plug in with these pokey headphone jacks, but my phone does not have a headphone jack anymore. So, well, my phone never did, but you know what I mean, older phones do. And this is an adapter to the lightning port, so we're going to see if this even works with the microphones, because all 3 microphones that I'm trying, they all have these. I have another microphone that Steve got me for Mother's Day, but it will work with my phone. However, I need another adapter. I need a USB-C, like, so the thing that plugs into my phone for that one, it's a cordless one. It is a USB-C thing, so that won't go into my phone, because my phone, if I got a brand new phone, because now they all phones have to be the same or whatever, then it would have a USB-C port. But mine still has the lightning port. So Steve ordered me a adapter that is USB-C to lightning. So, and he made sure, he said it was good that he checked, because when he first looked, it was a charging one and it said not for use with microphones, blah, 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 all this stuff. So that's why I'm not even sure if these ones will work with microphones or if these are just for headphones. We'll try and we'll see. So plugging this into there. And this is, like I said, this is one that I have clipped on. So let me know what the sound is like. Are you connecting a pair of headphones? If you switch devices, you can update. It asked me if I was connecting a pair of headphones. Now, a lot of the headphones, and I said other device, but a lot of the headphones have microphones on them too. So hopefully this will still work. Is the sound any different? I told Steve I'd be on at 8. He said he would go on and tell me if the sound was better or not. And I was going to do a practice video, but I ran out of time. So if there's nobody on watching me live right now, then I'll have to just test and see if these are working. I wonder if it's working at all. Oh, there, Steve's watching. Steve, I'm going to unplug this first of all. Okay, Steve, let me know that you're watching. Like, give me a comment, please. If you haven't guessed already, Steve's not going out to play cards with his mates tonight. Okay, so Steve, right now you can hear me, and that's with the telephone, like the iPhone's microphone. I'm going to plug in this one that is clipped on me. Let me know if it makes any difference to the sound at all. Okay, so when I first plugged it in, it asked me if I was plugging in headphones, and I said no. So the fact that I plugged it in now, it might just recognize this device. Has it made any difference in my sound? Does it feel like it's picking up anything different with it being here? I'm just waiting for Steve to comment. I'll show you guys the other microphones. This one is actually Steve's that he's used before with his laptop and stuff. I'm going to test it to see how well it works with. So Steve says sounds much clearer, less echoey. That's what we're going for. So this is, you can have it as a handheld, or it goes in this stand here. So I'm going to try out Steve's, and then this is the biggest, nicest one. It's got the light, like you can take these apart and you don't need to use the light, but you can put your phone right here, the light right there, the microphone there, and the tripod. So, and it's got the ball for all the different movements and everything. So I'm going to try this one out, and I don't need to put my phone in this either because I have my phone in one already, which is actually that one that if I turn it on, it will follow me around if I move. That's from Steve as well. So, okay, Steve, I'm going to try the second microphone. They all, which is yours, they all plug into a, as I said, they all plug into a headphone jack. So I'll leave the adapter. And now I'm trying the next one. Okay, so I have this one plugged in. I think I saw power on it. Did I see a power thing? Testing, is this on? Condenser microphone. Condenser microphone sticker. Hello? Steven? But there's no power on it. Can you hear me at all with it? Is it working? Oh, this orange cord. I thought this orange cord was like an old headphone, like, cord for, like with a headphone jack on both ends, the little pokey things, but it actually is the cord that comes with this microphone. So, Steve, you said no. I'm guessing that you said no, that there's no power on it, but is it coming through? Can you hear me on this one at all? Hello. Oh yeah, I showed you the third microphone. And then after I test that microphone, we'll get on with the rest of the stuff for the live. Steve is obviously just a slow typer. So, how is everything? What's new with you? Yesterday was sunny and I got excited because we were supposed to have some like weather coming in that was really warm, and then it changed. Today was rainy and it's supposed to be like in the higher teens, maybe even 20 degrees this week, but it's not what it first predicted. And still a lot of rain this week. So, okay, so Steve says, no, it's no different. Doesn't sound like it's working. Okay, I'll try the other adapter with it, and then we'll put this one aside. Okay, so now we're on my regular phone microphone. So I'm using the new adapter, plugging this in. Otherwise, we'll just have to test it later on something. Okay, now this is coming up asking me if it's headphone device. So it's recognizing that it's something. Is it working now? Is there any sound difference now? So like I said, the one that's clipped onto me, which I guess I could take off, is, I have two of those. I'm glad it works. I might put it back on if that one is the only one that works, but I have two of them so that when I have someone on my live, especially if I have to have a phone further away so that we're both in shot, we can each have a microphone. Hello, is it working now? Testing. So what else have, okay, so what did, last week I was a little bit not as clear as a clip-on. What if I talk really close like this? Does this work good? I don't want to eat the microphone, but I'm just checking how close you have to be to it. Do you have to be this close to it when you're using it for your videos and stuff, Steve? Right. So is being closer to it, does it make any difference? Does it sound any better? Or it's just not working well? So sometimes people think fake plants are not cool, especially people who are plant lovers, but not everybody is good with plants. So sometimes the fake ones use the clip on. Yeah, okay, Steve, I'm just going to try the last one before I go back to the clip on, because this might be the best one for using here. So I'm going to also turn on the light. But the only thing is the light is battery, which is fine, but I just want to see how bright it is. So that's the light. And it'll give me a square on my glasses instead of a circle. And I'll shut this light off. Can't see with too much light. Okay, so that's the light. Like I said, I'm not going to put my phone. I'll bring you guys closer. I'm not going to put my phone, but it would be something like that with the light. And I haven't plugged in the microphone yet, so let me do this. Yeah, it's in the back. Where is it? Okay. It only gave me this little skitty little guy. So actually, I don't even know how I'm going to do that. I mean, I do have more of these cords. Oh, that's because, hang on, maybe I will put you guys in. Okay, now you're in the stand for this. I can tilt you that way. I think the power button on the back of the light will make it, yeah, so, except I looked directly into the light, so now it's, oh, sorry, I don't want to shut it off, but I guess that's as pale as it gets. So, and then plugging you in. Let's try this out. Ready? And go. Let's see if the message comes up about have you plugged in headphones. As it is right now, obviously the microphone should be able to pick stuff up well because it's so far away from, like if you put your phone there, your light there, your microphone there, you're not going to be eating the microphone because you need to be in the shot. So Steve, hello, Samantha says hello. Did I already say that? Steve, is this one making any difference? Is the microphone picking anything up? Does it sound good? It looks good. Everything about it looks good. I just don't know if it works with phones. So I'll just wait for his response. Oh, my stupid cold sore is bleeding. Yep, another cold sore. I didn't even put lipstick or anything on because you don't want to contaminate the lipstick, but also this is real life. Steve says, better than no mic, but not as good as the clip-ons. Okay, well, I'll keep my stuff plugged in to this tripod, and then I will plug the clip on. Isn't that interesting? This little clip-on, hello. Sorry if I busted your eardrums. This little clip-on, even being clipped on down here on my Beatles shirt, is the best one. So that sounds good. Is it working? Is it coming in? Am I clear? So fake house plants. I bought this one, well, probably over a year ago, but I just had to get it. It's for pets. It is a pet toy. It is a dog toy, plush dog toy by Zippy Paws, but I liked it too much. It's too cute. So for those of you who don't like fake plants in your house, what about this one? Will it be all right as a fake plant in the house? Set that there. That's how, you know how I like to have at least one plant in the shot during my lives. So that's the plant we're having this week. So I'm bringing you closer. I just don't want to get that, I told you guys, the tracking, that line on the wall there where we need to fill in from them doing our electrics. And then over here is the fireplace, but having just a corner of the fireplace. But if I bring you any closer, like I can't really do it when my phone is horizontal. So you guys just have to bear with me. So last week I was watering plants with you guys outside. This week I am testing microphones and getting right back to our traditional lives. To the point that I even showered and did my hair because sometimes it's important to look good for these, and I want to be, most of the time I want to be like, I want to come prepared and look good and feel good and like it's my job kind of thing, right? Like show up, you know, dressed nice and whatever. Also, you know, to try out new outfits and different outfits so I can get rid of some of the clothes I own. But there will still be those times when I'll just look like, you know, scrubby and everything else. Summer is pretty much over, especially the weather. Yeah, supposedly, I wasn't here, so I don't know if I believe it. It's like people who see aliens and all that stuff. Supposedly, it was hot here this summer in England, but I wasn't here, so I just don't know if it's true or not, because when I got here, it wasn't, and like I said, it was nice yesterday, but I do need a really nice day, or I'm going to freeze myself, because my big homemade filter fell into my plunge pool, and it's at the bottom, so I have to get in there to get it, But not only that, I have to like literally go down to the bottom of it to get it because it'll be heavy to lift up, especially being full of water. So I was waiting for a nice hot day for that, you know, when I was like too hot and just wanted to cool off. I don't know if I'm going to get one of those, so I'll take any day that there's some sun and it's a nice enough temperature, not one of these rainy, gloomy days. But I need to get that out of there because the water got all murky because everything that was in the filter that had cleaned the, you know, out of the pool just went back into the pool when that fell in. So that's something I need to deal with. Also, getting back to the basics with my rambling hour, I got the death deck out so we can do those questions again. How many of you have been doing your, you know, what do you call it, like planning, end of life planning, I guess that's what it's called, end of life planning. Yeah, me neither, but we still need to get our will done, so let's get back on that now that it's the season of not having to be in the garden all the time. Although I do have a lot of catching up to do right now just with the not being here for the summer. Started on it, getting there, house and garden. Slowly but surely things are coming along. Also, it's September 1st, so summer decorations, even though I wasn't here for most of the summer, need to come down. Luckily, there's not very many summer decorations, but I look forward to not necessarily bringing all the autumn decorations down, but I do like decorating and the way that it'll feel and look after the decorations are done. So yeah, time to decorate for autumn. I keep looking over at the axolotls. I think they might be my background next week. I was going to do it this week, but I've added sand because they're big enough now. I've added sand and live plants and it looks really good, but the water's still just a little bit cloudy from the sand. So it's going through the filter and it'll just keep getting clearer. But so maybe next week when it's completely clear, then I will have them as my background or show you guys them anyways. They are big. Sloppy Joe's for supper today, which is leftovers from yesterday. French toast for lunch. What else can I talk about? Haven't started eating healthy yet, so still trying to, not like totally unhealthy, but still trying to enjoy some treats like, well, like French toast even, with syrup and stuff like that. Something that I won't be eating when I start, well, I mean, again, everything in moderation, right? But we'll do, again, we'll go carb-free for a few weeks. But most importantly, I need to start doing my workouts again, so that will happen soon. We babysat Jackson since we've been home. And last weekend, I think I told you, oh yeah, I did tell you guys that Auntie Joan was here. So, sorry, I just got a message and I was just reading it while I was talking to you guys. So I posted this meme like last week that said something about if you get a message from me regarding canned meat, don't open it. It's spam. And then this guy Justin wrote on it, like the Peripheral podcast, he wrote on it, but it's nothing like microwaved spam or something about microwaved spam. And then I laughed because I thought he was joking, but then I said, wait, or are you serious? Microwave spam. And then I said, are you joking? And he said, you'll just have to find out for yourself or something. So he said that it gets really salty. Did he say? Or I don't know. So anyways, first of all, I don't like spam. But I do like canned ham, canned meat. So I'm going to buy some spam and I'm going to buy some non-spam and I'm going to try it in the microwave and see what happens to it. And then I will post my results for this experiment. It's September, as I said, so kids going back to college. Erica has college tomorrow. Aurora, I think she goes on the 8th. But there's always things to do. Samantha says, that microphone sounds a lot better. Thanks, Samantha. It's just a clip-on one. So when you say it sounds a lot better, do you mean it sounds a lot better than my lives normally? Because if I knew that, then I might have taken something like this when I went to the water park. Because my sound on that episode is not good. But I'm still glad that I did it. And I think I said this last week. Maybe I did or maybe I didn't. Or in the last few weeks. But I wish that even though I had no internet service at camping, I wish I would have like just did a live video for you guys. I mean, not a live video, like just took a video of myself saying, "Hey, everyone that watches my rambling hour regularly, this is me at the beach, blah, blah, blah." You know, I can't do a live from here because I can't get service, but I just want to show you what it looked like. I wish I would have done a video like that, but I didn't, and I'm very far away from the lake now, so on Sunday, the 22nd of September, there's the Crime Con in London, and that I'm thinking of going. Samantha, I'm not sure still if you want to go or not. It is not cheap for something that you weren't planning on going to, but if I go to the Crime Con, I'm thinking of doing it on the Sunday, the 22nd. And if that is the case, then I should be able to still do my live. However, I don't know if I'll be on a train or what at that time. I think the Crime Con goes from like 9 a.m. till 6. I can't remember exactly. Yeah, I would have to look again, but that Sunday on the 22nd, if it works out that I'm able to do it, it'll be after I've gone to Crime Con. What else is coming up in... Oh, so yesterday was our Lena Bina, our German Shepherd. She turned 12 yesterday. So she's officially 12. And, oh, Samantha says, it sounds better than all lives. That's great, because I have 2 of these microphones. So I gave myself fireworks. Let me do my hearts that me and Rachel discovered. Yay! Okay, so... what? Oh, September. So yesterday was... Lena's birthday, and Aurora's birthday is this month. My sisters Amber and Melody's birthdays are this month. Is there somebody else on the 12th of September? I can't think. Oh yeah, it's Samantha's birthday on September 12th. So yeah, I know, Samantha, that's why, like, so this is why I never really told anybody about Crime Con. She said, I want to do Crime Con, but unsure on money, because when I first looked at Crime Con, I'm sure the tickets were like over £200. But now they were like 150 or 160 something, or maybe 145. I can't even remember. They were less than when I first looked at them. But also, it's not just the price of a ticket to Crime Con. It's also like the going to London, coming back from London, any food that I eat there and everything else. And excuse me, it's like when I went to the Pink concert in, I don't remember what year it was. About 2014, maybe, when I went to the Pink concert in Saskatchewan. Like, I didn't know anybody who wanted to go as bad as I did, because I didn't have a lot of friends. And it's a lot of money to ask someone to spend unless it's something they really, really love. Because even like concerts that I would like to go to, I won't go to because it's just too much money. I want to go to Crime Con, but I don't want anybody to come with me that isn't like as obsessed with like crime stuff as I am, because it's not worth it. Do you know what I mean? So like Amy asked why her dad's not going, like Steve, why he's not coming with me. But like, it's the same thing. Yes, he can show interest in my interests, to support me, but it would be like me going to not just a Man City regular football game, but like a big football game that matters to, you know what I mean? It's like, even if you had 2 tickets, it's better to bring someone who really cares about it. So it's the same, like, first of all, am I going to have fun dragging somebody to Crime Con with me that isn't into this stuff? Are they going to feel bored and not interested? It's like if me and Steve went to not just a flower show, but like walking through gardens. I'm going to want to spend time looking at things and seeing things and photographing things. And somebody who doesn't care about those things as much is going to be bored poopless. So I'd rather just go to Crime Con by myself if someone's not into all that stuff, especially, like I said, because of the price, right? It's like, it's already me contemplating if I'm going or not because of the price. And I'm really into this stuff, let alone a second person going who isn't really into this stuff. And it's different if I really if I didn't want to go by myself. Or how do I mean? I mean that, like, I don't mind going places by myself. That doesn't bother me. Some people don't want to go to places by themselves, so then you would want to have somebody with you. Especially because it doesn't have to be like a late night or anything. I don't have to be in the city by myself at night or something like that. So just go for the day and who knows how many hours and head home. So like I said, I don't know for sure even if I'm going. It's not like I have a ticket. Who knows? I don't even know. CrimeCon might be sold out. I have no idea. So there was a CrimeCon in Scotland as well, but it wasn't the same people. And it wasn't the ones that I wanted to see. The ones that I really want to see are the ones from, it's called Generation Y podcast. And then Justin has the Peripheral podcast. And then Aaron has another one, but I can't remember what it's called right now. Oh, another thing I want to talk to you guys about is I finished Tez Ilyas's book, The Secret Diary of I have it right here. The Secret Diary of a British Muslim, age 13 3/4. I did finish that book, but I want to do a post about it because I read it when I was out at the lake. But what I have here are the two that I'm starting now. Gosh, I have so many books. Not just like behind me, but like so many books that I want to read and that I am reading. And like, so Slow Seasons is, I showed you guys these before, glasses. I showed you guys these before, but Slow Seasons, a creative guide to reconnecting with nature the Celtic way. So let me just, with my big fat red cold sore. And as I said, it's the Celtic. So she uses the Celtic wheel, the old Celtic calendar, which is like and the seasons. What's it called? The wheel, I'll tell you. Does it say on the back? I'll just read you the synopsis and then, but it's the Celtic Wheel of the Year. Yeah, the Wheel of the Year. I think that's what it's called. So what I mean by that is like, this is what some people, like witchcraft and blah, 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 they follow. Imbolc, Astara, Beltane, Litha, Lunastol, Mabon. I don't know. I could be pronouncing these all wrong. Samhain. How do you say it again? Samhain. Not salmon like the fish, but Samhain. I don't know. And Yule. That one's easy. So the synopsis is, in our fast-paced world, sometimes we need reminders to stop. Take a breath and look around us. These days it feels like we're always on, rushing to the next thing, hardly resting. But it wasn't long ago that our ancestors lived more in tune with the seasons and were happier for it. Rosie Steer, influenced by her Scottish roots, guides you through the old Celtic calendar, marking the solstices, equinoxes, and their midpoints, celebrating the shifting seasons and embracing nature's ebbs and flows instead of battling against them. Brimming with recipes, activities, and creative ways of engaging more deeply with the world around you, this book will lead you to live a slower, happier, more wondrous life. And then it says, step outside and appreciate the magic that each season brings. That's a quote by Jessica Elliott Dennison. I don't know if there's like drawings. So each thing will say, like, that's Litha, is it? Yeah, sorry, it's backwards. Litha. So, yeah, it has that like for each section. I did skip ahead because it'll tell you like Litha is mid-May to end of June. So I did skip ahead to mid-August to end of September, and it's Mabon. So I skipped ahead in the book and started reading what was relevant to the season that we're in right now. And then I'll read the next section when it's relevant. Now, the next book is The Wild Remedy. I did already tell you guys about this one as well. Emma Mitchell, How Nature Mends Us, a diary. But she does it by months. And I have read the introduction and stuff like that already. But because she does it by months, and I did skip to September and started reading it, but two things. One, it's close to the end of the book because she actually starts with October in the book. So I figured that I might as well just wait until October. And two, when I started reading September, I could have done it, but it makes reference to certain things that she's already talked about in the book. So it just makes more sense to wait until October to start it. And so she has her photography in here, little sketches and things like that as well. So this one, I have started by reading reading the introduction, and I'm ready to start this one in October. There's also a companion book to this that came out after it. It's the Wild Remedy Journal, but it goes by seasons. This goes by months. This goes by seasons. This starts with spring. So I might just skip to autumn in this as I'm doing this. This one is one that you actually write in. So, but we know me, I don't actually write in my journals. I either photocopy them and write on that, or I write it in into a notebook. So the synopsis for The Wild Remedy is an absolute joy. Oh, it's not the synopsis. Hang on, those are quotes. Emma Mitchell has suffered with depression, or as she calls it, the gray slug, for 25 years. In 2003, she moved from the city to the edge of the Cambridgeshire Fens and began to take walks in the countryside around her home, photographing, collecting, and drawing as she went. Each walk lifted her mood, proving to be as medicinal as any talking therapy or pharmaceutical. In Emma's hand-illustrated diary, she takes us with her as she follows the paths and trails around her home and further afield, sharing her nature finds and tracking the lives of local flora and fauna over the course of a year. Reflecting on how these encounters impact her mood, Emma's unfailingly honest and affecting account of her own struggles with mental health is a powerful testament to how reconnecting with nature may offer us all some answers. While charting her own seasonal highs and sometimes devastating lows, she also looks to science behind these challenges. I do know how to read. While charting her own seasonal highs and sometimes devastating lows, she also looks to the science behind these changes, calling on new research into the ways in which our bodies and minds respond to plants and wildlife when we venture outdoors. Written with Emma's characteristic wit and frankness, and filled with her beautiful drawings, paintings, and photography, this is a truly unique book for anyone who has ever felt the draw of nature and wondered about its influence over us. I'll read the things on the back as well. Might as well, right? So, an absolute joy. Rarely do you find a book that soothes both the mind and the soul, but The Wild Remedy has managed it. This is such a powerful and beautiful book, and I can't think of anyone whose life would not be a better place for reading it. Joanna Cannon. Emma's writing is precise, gorgeous, and inspiring, and I am delighted to have a whole year's worth of her beautiful artwork. She makes me look more closely, learn more gladly, and get outside more. Amy Liptrot. Emma Mitchell has a knack for making even the humblest garden or daily dog walk seem richer and more rewarding. It comes as no surprise that her ability to make and share a creative connection to nature can benefit mental health. Melissa Harrison. Emma's words are profound. Her photography is inspiring and her illustrations are exquisite. This book is the literary equivalent of Prozac. Emma Freud. Emma Freud. So, it is that. It is everything that I love about, like I said, drawings, photography, like art, all of this stuff, and gardening. I can't wait to dig into these books. I like ones that go with the seasons and everything, and I love stuff that's like a journal kind of thing, especially in the garden, like journaling garden stuff. I love reading people's experience, and the reason I want to read it with the season or the month that it's happening in is because then I can think about what's in bloom at that time when they're talking about it, and I can really feel that feeling when I'm outside. I can't remember, there was a book that I read. I have all my favorite gardening books right behind me here. So there was one that I read. She lived in the States, and I really, let's see, The Winter Garden, no, The Garden in Every Sense and Season. Was it that one? Now it's gonna bug me, but she was Tova Martin. Glasses. And by the way, Samantha did say I have an interest in crime. Well, that's good. I mean, I know that you said that when you when we were talking about CrimeCon. So I obviously wouldn't have, said, oh, yeah, come with me if I didn't think you had an interest in crime. I'm pretty sure this is the one. Oh, she gets right into it. Oh, yeah, I remember her pictures. I'm pretty sure. Oh, introduction. So, an acre of New England meadow. Yeah, so she's in the States. So this is one, like, if you want the similar type of book, but because one of these is Scottish and one of them is English, right? But if you want the similar type of book, but with someone who's based in the United States, then it's this one. Is New England a state? I don't remember. Revel in the sensations. Actually, let me do this first. I don't want to glare on it. There we go. Sometimes I smile too big and then I look crazy. All right. Revel in the sensations. From the heady fragrance of spring lilacs to the delicious silence of a winter snowfall, Tova Martin shares 4 seasons of sensory experiences gleaned from a year of mindfulness in her garden. This deeply personal narrative from one of the greatest garden writers of our time teaches us to look closely, breathe deeply. My lip is bleeding again from smiling too much. From one of the greatest garden writers of our time teaches us to look closer, breathe deeper, and listen harder to truly savor our favorite outdoor spaces. Even the fact that she said the spring lilacs tells you that this is more of a North American one, because especially on the prairies or where we get cold winters, they do have lilacs here in England, but they have so many other things that flower at the same time that lilacs aren't as big and important as they are like where I'm from. So another wonderful book. There is another one, this one. But this one is more of, this is the RHS Gardening Through the Year. So this is based on here. And this is more of a reference book. So it's good for, going through the months and what's happening in that time of year. And, yeah, so Steve bought me this one, so I really like this one as well. There is these... No, I don't know where the other book is that I was going to talk about. I have this winter garden one too, so I probably... Emma Hardy. No, that's Emma Mitchell. The winter garden. So this is over 35 step-by-step projects for smaller spaces using foliage and flowers, berries and blooms, and herbs and produce. So it's, again, it's kind of for here to have nice displays for the winter. Oh yeah, I think I've read this already. Yeah, I have read this. So, but I haven't. I could do some of the projects in it. All right. So, oh no, I do have the ones that I was talking about here. But I thought I do have the third one isn't about the garden. I think that's why. So, I don't know. It is the Gin and Tonic Gardener. Where's the? Maybe it's upstairs because I want to read it. The Gin and Tonic Gardener. This I had from years ago when I lived in Canada. Still, and I love this. Again, it's like her experience. It's just a small one by Janice Wells. And this one's older than those ones that I have because, like I said, I had this in Canada. Let's see what year this came out. 2006. So the Gin and Tonic Gardener, Confessions of a Reformed Compulsive Gardener by Janice Wells. Janice Wells knows gardening, but whether you're a new gardener, a wary gardener, or not really a gardener at all, the Gin and Tonic Gardener will inspire you to want a garden that goes well with a stiff drink, a good book, and a hammock, where nothing is forced to be neat if it doesn't want to be, and where you never feel guilty about doing absolutely nothing productive. So I really liked this one as well. It doesn't have a lot of pictures or anything, but yeah, I really liked it. And she has, I'm pretty sure there's the Gin and Tonic Gardener too. which is what I can't find right now. But she also has this one called Definitely Not Martha Stewart, Domestic Tales of Starting Over. And I haven't read this one yet either. Because I loved her book so much. I know it's so stupid because you can read books again, but I loved her book so much that I didn't want, if I read these other two, then it would be over and I wouldn't have anything from her. Forget parchment paper and bouquet garni. Janice Wells must have for domestic survival is a sense of humor. Readers of her long-running column, Definitely Not Martha Stewart, think that's a good idea. Good thing. You are every woman. You make my week. You talk to me like you know me. You are my Irma Bombeck. Even my husband laughs. Those are quotes on the back. So I wonder if this came out first. So she obviously is an author from something. This is 2007. Oh, it looks like she's Canadian as well. So when Martha Stewart appeared on the scene to show women all over North America the finer points of gracious living, Janice Wells was struggling to rebuild her life on a shoestring. Gone were the days of dinner parties and aspirations of elegance. Funny and moving, Definitely Not Martha Stewart is one woman's story about starting over after 20 years of marriage. Wells struggles through the real world of little money and no time or desire to flute mushroom caps or monogram a doormat. With wry humor and down-to-earth candor, there I was, changing beds for 6 boarders, while Martha was on TV saying how easy it is to grow your own lavender, to make a spray to mist your sheets, and how appreciative your guests would be. I called Janine to come over. We cracked open a bottle of gin. Miss this, Martha, we said. Missed this, Martha. We said, from the realities of moving, I finally found my martini glass wrapped in swaddling underwear and lying in a rooster, to household tips. To loosen a rusty bolt, soak a rag in Coke, wrap it around the bolt, add the rest to a couple of ounces of rum, drink slowly, then try the bolt. To frank confessions, thinking about how long it's been since you cleaned the tub can take the joy right out of a bubble bath. Definitely Not Martha Stewart will strike a chord with women everywhere, give them a laugh, and make them feel that not being a domestic diva is not such a bad thing. Yes, I'm gonna have to read this. So Janice Wells' best-selling first book, The Gin and Tonic Gardener, charmed readers and reviewers across Canada with her comedic, down-to-earth approach to life. Her popular weekly newspaper column, Definitely Not Martha Stewart, brings it all indoors and has been entertaining readers in Newfoundland and Nova Scotia for years. Eternally thankful for her sense of humor, Wells says she had no idea how miserable her life had been until she started putting some of the personal columns together for this book. She lives in a 19th century house in downtown St. John's in a shaky peace with domestic harmony. So this is Janice Wells. And so there you go. So I recommend those. I'm sure that, like, it doesn't say in these ones, but there is another one, and I think it might be upstairs. I'll have to look for it. Those are my books this week. I am reading some of those. Maybe I'll do the Definitely Not Martha Stewart while I'm waiting to catch up on the seasons of the seasons, but I have some other books on my phone still to read as well. And it never ends, does it? There's just too many books, too much time listening to podcasts. I'm trying to only listen to the ones that are my favorites, but because I just don't have time for all of them. And then also, like, listening to audiobooks and stuff. Some of the audiobooks are good, but like I said, I think I said this before, so sometimes it's just not the same as reading, is it? It's nice that you can listen to an audiobook while you're doing other things, so I like that I can still get stuff done. But with somebody else's voice in your head, it's just different than reading the book yourself. I guess with it being autumn, I just have to give myself more time to sit down and do nothing. And by that, I mean read, which is doing something. Also, when we talk about end-of-life stuff, when I think about, okay, if I was going to die soon, what is the most important things that I would want done? Or what, my legacy that I want to leave behind. It has to do with my journals being ready to be published, or whatever, even if they don't get published till after Steve dies or whatever. So getting my journals in order is a priority. And I told you, like, it's up till 2010, they're in order. But after that, so for the last 14 years, they are kind of in order, but there's like dreams written in this book and poems written on pieces of paper and all this like little notes and everything else, where I want to combine it like I did from when I was 6 or whatever until 2010. That's all in order, recopied, and the little notes put in and everything else. So I need to do that for these last 14 years, and that's what I want to work on. So getting the garden winter ready, as well as having less to do in the garden, like I was doing. Like this last year, I'm trying to love the plants that I have and not buy more, but I also am trying to put more things into the ground, so it's not as a high maintenance of a garden, because yes, it looked great a couple of years ago, but I had to be outside every day putting like so much time into the garden, which didn't leave me any time for any other hobbies, especially, fitting in family and everything else, right? So I want to make that a less high maintenance garden, and then have time to get my journals in order, because that's my priority because we never know when it's our time. So the question for the week is going to be, I don't remember how these cards work. There's 2 different ones, and yeah, there's 3. Okay, so I'm doing a multiple choice question. So it says, my hair is still wet, so I got some condensation on my glasses. You overhear strangers speaking negatively about their deceased father. What's your reaction? A, don't care, not my business. B, how do you say that word again? Camaraderie? I can't say it, but I know what I mean. Camaraderie, like where you... Anyways, a death doesn't always erase a bad past. And C, disgust. No matter how awful, the dead deserve some respect. Now, this is a good one. You can answer that question, or, because this is what this deck is for, is to get people talking about conversation, right? So what that makes me think of is things I've been hearing about people who have died, and just it's the way that family acts after someone dies. Even good people turn bad and vicious and everything else. So there's not just the, if somebody's not a nice person in life, do you pretend, like, do you try to focus on all the good that they did do in their life? Or, when you're writing their obituary or doing their eulogy for their funeral, if they even have a funeral, because sometimes people are so unliked that nobody even wants to give them a proper funeral. Do you focus on the things that are good in that person's life, even if it was few and far between? Or do you be honest about who that person was and everything else? I've heard, I've told you, I listened to a podcast called Obituary, spelt with the BITCH way, Obituary, and they will do funny obituaries and heartfelt ones, and just so many different things. But they also do this, I've told you guys this before, but I'll tell you again. One of the parts that they do is, on Reddit, there's the Am I an Asshole, where you write in anonymously and say, am I an asshole for, and you can say, for, that one's for cheating on my girlfriend or blah, 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 whatever, and then people vote if you are, and they write their comments. Well, on the Obituary podcast, they do a segment called Am I the Asshole? But it has to do with, anything relevant to their podcast. So it's am I an asshole for not sharing my inheritance with my brother? So my grandma died, and she left everything to me, and she didn't want my brother to have anything. She made that clear while she was living. Now that she's died and left everything to me, my brother is harassing me and saying that I should share with him and it's not fair and blah, blah, blah. So am I an asshole for not sharing with my brother? So then, they give their opinions, and of course I scream into my microphone as well, or my phone, saying no, you're not an asshole. The brother is an asshole because... first of all, you should never expect inheritance. And this is, so many people feel entitled to inheritance. I just listened to a thing about a guy, and he was saying that the inheritance is he's his parents' kid, and they should pay for his stuff. He was an adult, but that his parents should pay, they should be responsible, blah, blah, blah. No. Especially when you're an adult, just because your parents have money does not mean you're entitled to their money in any way. let alone an inheritance if and when they pass away. So too many people rely on an inheritance thinking they're going to get it or expecting it, let alone fighting over the stuff and everything when the person dies. So a person who has anything to leave, it's up to them who they want to leave it to and how they want it divided. And that's why a will is so important. Because if family members do fight over these things, if it's an illegal will, then that is what has to be followed. And the scammers and assholes of the family don't get to have their say. Well, they can have their say, they just don't get their way. So there's like people, and it seems like it's always the same type of person who's like, well, I should get more from mom and dad dying because you guys already own a house and you're doing better in life. And I'm struggling, so I should get more. No, that's not how it works. If if your parents are going to leave it equally to each kid, then that's how they want it, not who's struggling more or who's more successful or anything or I should get more because I have more kids. No, I don't think so. Again, it's however the people who have the money want to leave it, and it's up to them. And if they decide that. So anyways, with this question, what I'm saying is our question this week will be, this could even refer to yourself. Like, if and when you die, do you want people to just focus on the positives that you did in life? Or do you want it to be them to remember you balanced, where if you weren't always the nicest person, I mean, they don't have to totally trash you, but do you want them to have it like a balanced, fair depiction of who you are? And again, this could be towards you, or the question is, when someone dies, if they're not a nice person, should people reflect that in the obituary, or should they only focus on the positive? So some of these obituaries that I've listened to on the obituary podcast are, well, hilarious to me, but sad to other person, where like sometimes they will actually pay the money to get, and obituaries are not cheap, especially in newspapers, but they will actually pay to do these obituaries, or maybe have them online for free. I don't know, but it'll like say like so-and-so was never a good dad. They were never there for anyone. And like God rest their soul because they're not going to be missed and blah, blah, blah. All these, like, you're just like, wow. Like, because guess what? Some people are assholes in life, and, you can wish their soul well, but just because someone dies does not mean all is forgiven, does not mean that they deserve respect because they're dead. And, it's even like the weird thing, like how when you see an older person, like old people, like you want to treat them lovely and everything else. But what about the people who are assholes? Like when, what about the mom who was abusive to her kids, or the husband who was cheating on his wife, and now you see them as old people and you think, aren't they old and cute and so nice and everything? But if they were assholes in life, like as they were like middle-aged, then they don't turn into nice people just because they get old. So it's weird how, I'm not saying don't respect your elders, and we need to take care of each other because there's a reason for everything. So I'm not saying that they don't deserve to be taken care of, like food, clothing, shelter, healthcare, and all those things, just the same as the next person. I'm just saying that not all is forgiven just because you're old or because you die. So I will frame that question better when I make the post about it. And then, like I said, I want to do the first 30 questions in a format that's easy for people to either print off or see if they want to start from the beginning with all of our questions. So did I say first 30? Because I think we're at 30, so this might be question 31, but whatever it is, it's around 30 questions that we've already done. And so I'll have them in a way that, like I said, now that it's September and we're getting back into a system here, we can figure all this stuff out, and I can work on these lives better and properly, and then also have guests and stuff like that. So that's the plan. My big fat finger. We have 7 minutes. This week, what do I have planned? I know you're asking yourself. It's the same things. Like I said, I got, there's always paperwork and stuff to do like that. Kids are starting school this week or next, and I'm still catching up with things from being away for so long, especially in the garden. The house is pretty caught up, only because it wasn't that bad when we left, and because Auntie Joan and Paul were here last weekend, I wanted the house to be nice when they got here. So the house is pretty good. the caravan's pretty good, like the guest house, because they stayed in there, so I made sure that was pretty clean. But it's mostly the garden now that I just need to catch up on, and what do you call trimming trees and stuff? What's that called again? My brain has shut off. I don't even know what terms to use for gardening anymore. Pruning and cleaning up, and which is weird. Like, yes, there is autumn cleaning up, but it feels like a spring cleaning in a way. So that, and yeah. Sorry, just watching the axolotls. Steve thinks they're boring. I don't think they're boring. I think they're lovely. And the lady at the pet store told me how to check if they're boys and girls, so I need to do that too. I think it might actually have 3 males, but I'll have to check. Because I was looking at a picture. I was showing her a picture of them, so we couldn't really tell. But now that I know how to tell, I'll see when I go over there. Choo-choo train. Sloppy Joes sound good. I might not have like Sloppy Joes with bread. I might actually eat some tortilla chips with the Sloppy Joe mix and some cheese. Kind of like if you were eating chili, because I feel like it. And then going, because Steve didn't go out for cards, so maybe going and watching TV with him. Can't wait for all the regular shows to start again in September, so we're just back on schedule with things like Taskmaster and and Gogglebox. And I mean, there's not a lot of shows that me and Steve watch, but there's a few. So I started watching one last night. Well, Steve started watching it too, but he fell asleep. He thought it was pretty slow. It's with Jeff Goldblum in it. It's called... No, I've lost it. I don't remember what it's called, even though I've watched like 5 episodes already. But it's a series with Jeff Goldblum, and he is Zeus, and it's based on like Greek mythology and stuff. I like it, but yeah, I could see where it could be slow, but I'm enjoying it. So, and then we watched the movie The Union the night before with Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry, and I like both of them, and I watched the whole movie, but again, Steve fell asleep during that. So he didn't find it that interesting. If I want Steve to fall, like, 'cause Steve doesn't sleep well, and even though he might fall asleep while we're watching something, it doesn't mean that he'll stay asleep, or he might have like a nice hour while I'm watching something and then wake up and not be able to fall back asleep for hours after that. But if I want Steve to fall asleep, the 2 things that he falls asleep to the best is John Oliver, because he finds it boring sometimes, and then if we're watching like the National Geographics or like nature like type programs, which he during the day he can watch totally awake and everything else, but so it's not that he finds them boring, but I guess it's just so relaxing and stuff that he falls asleep to them when we watch them at night. So alright guys, it has been another week. This is another season done. Whether I have a day off next week or I start the new season, I don't know, but it will be season 16 coming up. I can't believe how many of these I've done. I don't know what to do with all of them, but I'm glad that you watch either live or later, and I hope you guys tune in next week or the week after, whenever I have my next live. All right, I'm going to try and make them more interesting, make them exciting, different things, different guests, whatever you think to keep your attention and to talk about these things. But until then, I love you guys, and we will see you then. All right, ciao. Bye.